To snowy Winterberg in Altenberg in Saxony as we get ready for race 4 of the IBSF Men's Skeleton World Cup. We're after a really snowy start to the morning that forced the women's race to be just a one-heat wonder. The clear skies, or the clear air at least, remain as we get into our men's encounter. Well, this Altenberg track is a really challenging one that nobody takes for granted, and it has got lots of pitfalls, not just in terms of potential risk for the athletes, but in terms of losing speed. Relatively short, flat start, straight down into corner 1, named after the now track manager Matthias Benisch, who managed to roll a bobsleigh there, and then into corner 2 and 3. Now, corner 3 sets you up for one of the key corners on the track. Turn 4, Omega. Got to get a clean exit there into corner 5, 6, 7, and then corner 8 and corner 9. First big double pressure corner here, Qinwei, and this is critical because it leads you onto the straight down to the Kreisel. The Kreisel looms up in front of you. 1, 2, 3 pressures and cleanly off, hopefully. Down into 12, 13, crossover, out of 14, over the brow. And then try and avoid lose speed here as you drop down in 15 and 16 and finally corner 17, and the outrun goes under corner 14. So there you can see the bottom part of the track. Christopher Grotheer is our World Cup points leader from Marcus Wyatt and Matt Weston. Now, in the women's race today, we had our 4th first-time winner of the season. So if the men's skeleton continues in the way in which its season has started, the way the women's did, then Christopher Grotheer will win again. And actually, he's not been bad on this track. Won his first ever World Cup race here in Altenberg back in 2017. And then tumbleweed, literally nothing for 3 seasons until he won again here in the World Championships in 2020. And then, of course, in the COVID World Championships in 2021 here again. Now, he has not won on this track since. He's had 3 consecutive silver medals. And in fact, he's had 4 silver medals and a bronze in the 5 races since he won a World Championship here. But he has not won on this track since February 2021. In our start list today, we have 33 sleds, and unless the snow returns and it's somehow called at the end of first heat, it should be a 2-heat race with the fastest 25 going through. Got some names that we haven't heard this season joining in because we're back in Europe. Kwasi Frimpong of Ghana, Lucas Defaye, and a couple of others rejoining the field who weren't in the Asian races. Start draw number 1 for our World Cup points leader, Christopher Grotheer, silver medalist, his 4th such on this track last time out. 3 gold, 4 silver, 1 bronze he's had on this track. Grotheer, the 31-year-old world and Olympic champion, is going to be the man they all have to beat. He's been on imperious form so far this season, with 3 wins from 3 starts. Great exit out of 4. Just perfectly smooth. Now the track, as you can see, is pretty shiny, so it has had a spritz between the end of the women's race and the beginning of the men's race. It was getting very frosty in the women's race. It undoubtedly will frost up here again. So Christopher Grotheer with absolutely the best ice, and he must make good use of it. He's just been in stunning form, was really looking forward to getting back to Altenberg, to German tracks. Not that he had a tough time with 3 wins out of 3 races in the Far East. 56.70. Now, to give you an indication of how quick that is, we were looking at 61 second times for the women's race. And assuming that the men start faster, are a little bit heavier and carry more acceleration, even so, this is a much quicker track than it was 45 minutes ago when the women's race concluded. Well, is that gold for Grotheer? Are we done and dusted? Well, we're not, because there is the second heat still, but great ice might help this young man as well. Vladyslav Heraskevych. Now, Vlad has been around for so long, you sort of forget that he's only just 25. This is his 58th World Cup race. 2 World Championships and 5 of the 7 World Cup races on this track he's competed in. Best here, a 10th place finish, 5.20, so only 200s away from Grotheer, and with a great opportunity on clean ice to make the most of this. He slides so well, Vladyslav. Not bad from 4 to 5. Corner 4 Omega is going to be absolutely key here. If you haven't got speed out of there, then it takes a long time to find it. And up against the Germans, it's hard to better than they are down at the bottom. Second fastest into the Kreisel, and a full kilometre an hour down. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but in a sport where you're measured by hundredths of a second, every kilometre counts. Better speed at the bottom than Christopher Grotheer. Not by much, half a K up. How close is he at the line? 3600s back. Is that enough for a medal? Well, we're going to see, aren't we? And probably not for a while.
Heraskevych in second place currently.
But nice looking run, and good speed at the bottom again from Vladyslav Heraskevych. 1:16.4 compared to 1:15.9 at the bottom for Christopher Grotheer. So one of our 2 athletes from Ukraine in the field. And a great opportunity. Start draw number 2. Always good news to have fresh ice. Now then, Matt Weston's mum and dad and flag watching from the sidelines. Matt Weston, our reigning World Cup champion, the 2023 World Champion in men's skeleton. Bronze medalist here last time out, and that race was in February. Beaten by Christopher Grotheer, who took the silver. And Yin Cheng of China, who took his third straight win, or his second of three, in fact. Good start, though, for Matt Weston, 4.94. There's not going to be many quicker. A bit of scraping in 4 and 5. Can he keep the advantage alive over Christopher Grotheer? Good exit out of 9, 2800s to 1200s. Not as quick as Grotheer, not as quick as Heraskevych. Slingshot out of the Kreisel. 400s in it, only third best speed, not going to be ahead of line. He's already dropping back into the red, out of 14, nice clean exit, little skid up the hill into 15, still not as quick as the previous two. And across the line, second place, 1300s back. So Christopher Grotheer leads from Matt Weston and Vladyslav Heraskevych. 1300s back in second place. Well, Matt Weston, 2 consecutive wins here in the 2022-23 season. Won both World Cup races, the second of which was the European Championship. He was a European Championship gold medalist the season before last. Big second pressure in the Kreisel. In the frost.
Keep killing my nose on this track.
If that's the only thing you hit, then you're doing well. For China, Chen Wenhao, the 27-year-old, 5 World Cup races here and the 2020 Worlds. Because the 2020 Worlds were just before the global pandemic hit. Best of 5th place in race 1, January 2023. 5:02 getaway, that's a good strong start as well. Gives him 1600s in hand over Christopher Grotheer, the current leader. He's going to have to be very much better than that in corner 4 if he wants to hang on to that speed, really scrambling his way round. 1100s up, he's not likely to be in the lead, probably even by the Kreisel. Not a bad exit out of corner 9. Slowest sled so far onto the Kreisel. Not going to build on that speed either. At the moment, just ahead of Vladyslav Heraskevych. But Vlad was fastest down the bottom. A little flop off 15. He's going to be 4th at the line. 57.15. Up and down season, it's fair to say, I think, for Chen. 5th and 18th in Korea, and then only 7th in Beijing a couple of weeks ago. Disappointed with that, I'd have said.
Marcus Wyatt aus Großbritannien. Marcus Wyatt, Great Britain, please prepare your legs.
Well, here out of 14, just a fraction too far over to the right, and then just flops off 15 at the end. All take speed out of the sled. It's very flat down here. Yeah, comme ci, comme ça, as they say in China. Marcus Wyatt next up. 53rd World Cup start for Marcus. 7 of those have been here. 2 World Championships as well, 20 and 21. And race 2 in January 2023 had his best result here of 5th place. So same best result as Chen Wenhao. Started even quicker than Matt Weston. Little scrabbly in Omega, corner 4. 3500s up. Is that enough? Depends on the speed coming out of Qinwei. And down to the Kreisel, 1900s up, 3rd best speed. Grotheer was quickest all the way down to the exit of 14 when Heraskevych overhauled him. Only the 4th best speed, he'll be in the red. So how close to the top will Marcus Wyatt be? 100th in it, 3rd best speed. Not quite enough to hold the lead, big height. In corner 16, 1800s back. almost in the woodwork there. A round of applause from Matthias Guggenberger. Martin Stukel's there to grab the sled. How many wins do you think Martin's had on this track? Fewer than you imagine. 5 wins in total, 4 in a row, and then nothing for about 6 years before he got his 5th win. Out of 14, looking good here, but just too far left, so gets on late, and then look at the height here. Whoa, right up, inverted. Scary stuff. Christopher Grotheer leads Matt Weston and Marcus Wyatt. There's a familiar podium, isn't it? Okay, 5 down, loads to go, and hopefully 2 heats as well, if the weather allows. Our 6th starter is Sammy Meyer. There's Nicky Grunberger holding the sled for him. Sammy, 25, best of 5th place here. That was back in December 2021. Start time good for Sammy though, 5:09. And that's really, really helping his performance. Getting those really fast starts out. When you're starting in the top half dozen, you've always got a chance. And he's just been sliding so nicely this season. 3rd best speed for Sammy Meyer. He's giving away a lot of height and mass to some of the other sliders. And that kind of hurts you when you are trying to build speed. Still 3rd best speed. A 10th always gone out to 2. Oh, big moments. Crashing there. He wasn't off the sled. But whoa boy, 6/10 back from 1/10 back going into 14. I talked him up, didn't I? 5th and 4th in Pyeongchang, 12th only in Beijing. Out of 14, way over to the left. Can't get across to the right. And look at that, just trying to drive it off too early. Big skid, huge flop. And yeah. Exit of 14. It's been the undoing of so many people, but he didn't hit the wall. He was just far too far in ditch when they got to 15. Lin Qinwei of China. 3rd World Cup race for him. 2 Europe Cup races here in December 2023. His World Cup best, a 5th plus finish in Beijing. Better make that his 4th World Cup race, hadn't we? 4:85. Another great start. Absolutely superb. So what does he know of this track? Not a lot. Oof. It's 5. Still got the lead. 3,400's out, but that is going to be down maybe just in double digits at the next clock. Maybe not even that. No. Only the 7th best speed. He's our 7th sled. That 4-5 transition just exposed what had gone wrong in corner 4. Robs you of so much speed out of 14. Legs flailing left and right, just trying to straighten the sled. Across the line, 57.91. So Lin, 1.2 seconds off the lead. 1.03 off the podium, where he shakes his head a little. It all started going wrong 3, 4, 5, but all the way down he was playing catch up. Just does not have the intimate knowledge of the track. So this is exit 4 into 5. Gets hard onto 5. And then you bump onto 6 as well. And the sled skidding away under him. The back is going right, the front is going left. But here's a man who's had a fun start to the season, Rasmus Johansson, the Dane, coached by the German crew. Rasmus, 4th and 8th in Pyeongchang, 11th in Beijing. 2 World Cup starts on this track. Best result of 17th in January 2023. He's had about half a dozen races in total in Altenberg. 5:06. It's not a bad start either. Top 5 at the moment. There won't be too many going quicker. Whoa. Got onto 4, didn't believe the line, tried to hold it down, and the rear of the sled slid up under him. 500s up on Christopher Grotheer. And he rooms with Christopher Grotheer, has done for a couple of seasons now. And Grotheer, after winning the first race in Pyeongchang, was just overjoyed that his, in brackets, teammate, Rasmus got 4th place, his best World Cup result. Good-looking run. And across the line, 57.34. So Rasmus Johansson behind Sammy Meyer by 700ths of a second, just outside the top half dozen.
Für den jungen Dänen auf und jetzt Felix.
Take a look, watch his feet in the cradle. No major dramas. Tiniest of little corrections. He is having a good season. Next up, Felix Keisinger for Germany. 9th of our 33 starters in this race 4 of the IBSF Men's Skeleton World Cup. Kaisinger's best result here has been a 5th place finish. 5 flat, another excellent start. No longer the outright fastest starter in the field. He's getting old now, 26. Nice looking run so far. Still got 1100ths of his 1800s advantage over Christopher Grotheer, but that's gone now. Run out of 9. 7th best speed, so why has he not got the speed? Good exit again. 12.13. Whipping into 14. Clean, comes right nicely. Gets 15 nicely. Top 5 speed. He's not going to be the leader. Is he in the top 6? He is, just ahead of Sammy Meyer by 600ths of a second.
57.2.
Well, 4 fastest start, 6th at the line. But he was losing speed all the way down there. He'll have the same basic FES sled as Christopher Grotheer. Different athlete, different needs in what he wants from the sled. So it will be set up differently. I'm sure neither of them will feel comfortable on the other's sled. All right, top 6 for Keisi. And start draw number 10 for Kim Ji-soo of Korea. Kim now 30 in his 45th World Cup start. Did both World Championships here, 5 World Cups as well. Best of 7th place in January 23. Yet to claim a World Cup medal. 4.94, another really strong start. 3rd fastest in the field. Nice and quiet so far, just a little shift of the hips to get the line he wanted. 4 looks good, hits 5. Little late second height in 4, which means little late on to 4, and hit 5, and the speed's gone. Yeah, only a 10th best speed onto the Kreisel, so the slowest sled so far, and he just pinballed up and down and up and down. The line wasn't right going on. He'll be doing well if this is even a top 15 run by the end of the first heat. 0.6 back. That is not the run he wanted.
From Korea, 10. Rang. Seine derzeitige Platzierung.
He's 4 tenths behind Lin Qinwei of China, and he is 6 tenths behind Rasmus Johansson of Denmark, who's just 2 spots above him. It's a lot of real estate. And look at this. Well, in the ditch and in the woodwork. That was not the crossel he was looking for. To steal a line from Alec Guinness. Christopher Grotheer leads from Matt Weston and Marcus Wyatt, with Vladyslav Heraskevych heading the chasing pack. 10 down, 23 to go. Race 4, IBSF Men's Skeleton World Cup. Yuan, last year's winner on this track. He was on a real run of form at this stage last year. He won in Sigulda, his first World Cup victory. He won here the following race, and then he won in Lake Placid, the season closer. But this is not a winning run. Already a big skip, 2 to 3, and in trouble in corner 4. Drifting around. 5 to 6, he's tidied it up, but he's already gone behind Christopher Grotheer. 5th fastest start. He's the 11th slider and only the 7th best speed. He's got some rocket booster pack to fit in the second heat. This is not a medal-winning run. He'll be doing well to be in the top 10. Just creeping back into the top 10 on the splits, and at the line, 9th place.
Currently for Yuan from China.
So Yuan 57.47, over 3/4 of a second off the lead. So, 11 down. Next up will be Italy's Mattia Gaspari. Yuan Cheng, the pushed-up world champion from a couple of seasons ago in Lake Placid. Look at all of that toe drag. Just got kicked out of the groove. Either he wasn't settled squarely on the sled or something, but didn't help him. Now, Mattia Gaspari should have good memories about this track. Took a bronze medal in Team World Championships here in 2020 with Valentina Margalio. The Canadians took silver, Germany, of course, whatever. Let's see what Mattia's got for us today. .521, least speedy getaway seen so far, but with bags of experience on ice, and Willi Schneider hopefully tailing the sleds. Italian women did not have the greatest of days today. At least Valentina Margalio did not crash out, which she's done in a third of the races here. 7th best speed from 12th best start. So he's driving himself a little bit into contention. 10th best speed. Is this going to be a top 10 run from Mattia Gaspari? He's overhauled Kim Chi-soo of Korea. 4th best speed at the bottom. This should be in the top 10. It's 10th place, 57.51.
Mattia Gaspari.
Sometimes you wish the run would end, sometimes you wish you had another couple of 100 meters of ice, another couple of 100 meters of ice with the speed he had at the bottom. Mattia Gaspari might have picked off 2 or 3, 4 more.
Hello everyone, Zhao.
If he's not your favourite post-side interview or commenter, then who is?
Something to fix, but next one.
See, when he stops being a current athlete, getting him in the booth, I don't care. It'll be so much fun. Although we'd have to have him on camera, wouldn't we? Vincent Spoof now for Switzerland. Star drawn at 13. 11th World Cup race for the 23-year-old. Only 3 races on this track. He was in the World Cup here and has done 2 Europa Cup races as well. 23rd place in February on this track. His World Cup best result is an 11th place finish from Pyeongchang, first race of this season. Of course, that was the crazy one where the first became last and the last became first, kind of. And he just happened to hit the sweet spot. 6th best speed. Excellent exit from the Kreisel. Still 11th best speed. Speed again. Just going to put him ahead of Kim Ji-soo. Does he get to Lin Qinwei? He does. 11th place ahead of Lin. I'm liking that.
This is from Switzerland.
So 13th at the start, 11th at the bottom. He was improving all the way down. Good run. Long, slender athlete. So he carries mass, doesn't have the fastest start, but that long, lean body, especially with the narrow shoulders, good aerodynamic body shape for skeleton. And he can hide the sideshow bob haircut under the helmet as well, which also helps. So 3rd of our sliders from Team Great Britain is Craig Thompson. 32-year-old will also be in the mixed teams competition, taking the place of Matt Weston later on this afternoon. 39th World Cup start, best result here. Top 10 finish in January 23. 5th best getaway. Silver medalist 2 or 3 seasons back in Innsbruck. Oh, skating around all over the place though in the early corners, scrubbing off that speed. He'll be in the red before he gets out of corner 9. The question now is, from the 5th best start, where does he end up? Only 12th speed. He's slider number 14. Finding a little more, but as soon as he does, rubs it off on the wall. Not getting the lines that he needs. Only the 12th best speed. In danger of dropping out of the top 10 here behind Mattia Gaspari. And drops to 12th place.
Twelfth place currently for
2 spots away from his
Thompson
Altenberg PB of 10th. And by the end of the first heat, that might be outside the top 15 as well. Again, look here in 4, big first pressure. So immediately he's having a scrabble because it's taking him into a big second pressure and skids away, hits the wall. Yeah, body language tells you most of what you need to know. Now, lots of orange around the track, not for the Dutch, but for this man, Axel Jungk. So the Axel Jungk fan club, very vocal around these tracks. And Axel, from nearby Dresden, this is very much home territory for him. It's also his 75th World Cup start. What a milestone for this stalwart German skeleton sliding. He's had a couple of seasons where he's missed a lot of the racing because of injury as well. Let's hope that he keeps himself healthy heading towards Milano Cortina 26. 400s up on Christopher Grotheer. He has won on this track. Winner in the 21-22 season. 3rd best speed. Now, if he can really find some pace in the final corners from here on in. No, 2100's back. He's not close enough. He's not going to challenge Grotheer. Top 3 are covered by 18. Vladyslav Heraskevych is 600ths behind him as he comes in 3/10 behind at the line. Lot of work to do for Axel in the second heat if he's going to get a medal. 1 gold, 2 silver, 3 bronze medals here on home ice in Altenberg. Off the podium in February. Oh, he's had a nice Christmas haircut already. Excellent stuff. A decent start from Axel. 11th out of the 15 sleds. But he drives so well here. Chu Haifeng of China, one of China's 2 World Cup rookies in the field. Only his 4th start. Raced here just once in December 2023 in Europe Cup. Sure, Dirk Matchens and the crew brought him here a little before that. 5:10. So matches the start of Axel Jungk. Christian Grotheer, for reference, starting 5:18. So Grotheer only 13th fastest starter in the field so far. Hugh just 800ths back. And again, for a rookie who's not got phenomenal experience of this track, yes, they were here last week. No, that's not enough. Not in Altenberg. 12th best speed. It's a good-looking run. Started 11th. Oops. This could almost be a top 12 run at the line. He's 13th, just ahead of Craig Thompson by 100th of a second. So that battle just outside the top 10 is really starting to shape up now.
Haifeng from China.
Vincent Spuff, Chu Haifeng, Craig Thompson, 3 sleds covered by 500ths of a second. Considering he's only raced once here before, he's learning this track well.
Giovanni Marchetti aus Italien ist der nächste.
So another one of our rookies. Next up, Giovanni Marchetti of Italy. Made his debut in Pyeongchang. Christopher Grotheer, the current leader. 2 Europa Cup races here in December 2023, so 12 months ago. 17th in race 2 in Pyeongchang is his World Cup best. 20th, 17th and 24th this season, so he's made the cut in each of his 3 previous races. He will have more experience here in Europe because that's where he learned to slide, but 4 to 5. The Valentina Margalio transition, not kind to him. 9th at the start, 17th. So slowest speed we've seen so far. Little clips on the wall and clouds of ice crystals coming up everywhere. Now, having made the cut in every race so far, he might be finding himself a little bit in the danger zone. 17th out of 17.
Ja, und so langsam muss man sich dann Gedanken machen,
So he
ob
doesn't
man
want
tatsächlich am
9
Ende zu den
sleds
besten
to go quicker than him, or he will be out.
Auch im zweiten.
Again, court 4 so pivotal, because if you get it wrong, not only do you scrub off speed in it, but you rattle the wall in 5. Annoyed with himself. Big red patch on the helmet of Austin Florian. Is that a tongue, or is that just replacing some of the paint that's missing and shaped to look like a tongue? 46 World Cup start for Austin. His only World Cup medal, team bronzed here in February this year. Fourth here in January 2023, and that is his World Cup best result in men's singles. Not bad from 4 to 5. Building his advantage over Christopher Grotheer. What a good exit as well from Austin Florian. Fifth best speed only into the Kreisel, but still 2700s up. Sixth best speed, 1600s up. Not enough to stay in the lead all the way to the line, but is this enough to put him in with a shot at the medals? 300s back, but only the 12th best speed. How close to the top of the pile is he? He's fourth, 2800s back, 56.98. A 10th off the podium for Austin Florian of the USA.
Vor Axel Jungk. 200stel hat weniger gebraucht als Axel
World
Jungk.
Cup best result came on this track 2 seasons ago, and his only World Cup medal in the team competition in February. This is a track that responds well to Austin Florian and vice versa. Just the tiniest of ups here. All right, one to go for Austin Florian. At least we hope there will be a second heat and the snow doesn't return. Lucas Nydegger now, Germany's rookie, the Youth Olympic Champion 2020. Junior European Champion here in December 23. 5 Europe Cup races here, 2 Intercontinental Cup races here. This is his first World Cup outing. 5-1-4, good start. Nydegger's just 22. Only 800s back. Now, what's he like at finding speed on a German track? Great exit from Qinwei. Fourth best speed into the Kreisel. Straight down the tubes on the way out. Third best speed. Beautiful transition. 15th at the start. He's up to 8th on the splits. This is an absolutely classic German slider. 57.03. 15th at the start, 6th at the bottom.
Time for Lucas
Classic German slide. Just building speed all the way down. Top 3, top 4 speeds. Brilliant stuff from Lucas Nydegger, beg his pardon. Look at that. Absolutely can't argue with that. And watch the Kreisel. One tiny toe steer. No touch on the ice there at all.
Thanks for watching.
What a nice run from Lucas David Nydegger. Next up, Amadeo Bagnis. Come on, one of the Italians have a really good run here. Mattia Gaspari currently in 13th place, off not a bad run. Amadeo has got a better start performance, 4:88, second fastest. Second best velocity as well. Oh, come on, having to wriggle between 2 and 3. Exit of 4. Oh, almost half off the sled. Starting to worry a little about the performance of the Italians early this season. All right, it's not early next season, it's not late next season. There's a lot of time for them and Coach Willi Schneider to get things right. But with every day, there's a bit less time. Again, like the girls, does not have the control he needs. 1.6 back. Second at the start, 19th at the bottom.
Italy. Schade, schade.
Schade is absolutely right. Not great. And all the mistakes, look. Out of 4, high looping. You can't avoid the wall there. When you've got that late height, you're just going into the wall. And that's the Valentina Margalio effect. She's done that more than once here. So Christopher Grotheer leads Matt Weston and Marcus Wyatt. The same 3 names were on the podium in both races in Pyeongchang. Hunter Williams, our 21st starter for the USA. Last year, or February, was his first World Cup race on this track. Raced here in Europe Cup and Intercontinental Cup before that, though. 17th at the start. Let's see what the speed's like as we get out of 8 and down towards corner 9. Not getting live speeds. There we go. 19th best speed. Whoa, big second pressure, big third pressure. Had to drive it off there. That's not going to help his speed. First sled on ice, lowest velocity so far. And 21st at the line, 59.40. So the battle for Hunter Williams will be to make the second heat, to be in the top 25 in his World Cup career so far this season. 33, 29, 29 are his finishing results. Got late onto the Kreisel, second pressure is late, third pressure is very late, and then lower down out of 15 on his shoulder, and skidding into 16, just trying to bury his head. And from Hunter Williams, we go to Dan Barefoot, third of our US sliders. Coach Matt Antoine with the sled. 2 ICC races, 2 Europe Cup races, and the World Cup in February for Dan Barefoot on this track. 5:16 getaway, couple of hundreds quicker than his teammate Hunter Williams. So 17th best start time, but 18th best velocity. Oh, and fighting gravity in corner 4. Got away without the big hit. What's the speed like coming down into the Kreisel? 18th best speed. Not a bad exit from the Kreisel at all. Not adding to his speed. Perhaps more crucially, not scrubbing it away at this stage. 17th at the start, was out to 20th on the splits. Back up to 19th, maybe 18th at the line. It is 18th at the line. So he's got 3 sleds behind him, including his own teammate Hunter Williams.
Daniel Barefoot, USA.
So 4 sleds behind him. I can't count. I can't subtract or add up. Not live on air. I need some toes for that. So Dan Barefoot in 18th place at the line. That should be enough. A little slip there off the block. Spikes didn't seem to be digging in quite the way you might have hoped. Should be enough to get him to make the cut. His results so far: 21st.
Thanks for watching. Let's go.
And 21st in Pyeongchang and 21st in Beijing as well. He currently lies 20th, 18th. Colin Freeling now for Belgium. Belgian winner in the women's race. Kim Marmans claimed her first ever World Cup victory in a 1-heat race. Colin Freeling, probably a few seasons away from that potential. World Cup best in Beijing at the start of last season, a 15th place finish, but did not make the cut in any of the 3 races in the Far East this season. Big skid there from 2 to 3. Well, gets cleanly out of 4. How's the exit out of 9? Little late flop. Come across, baby, come across. 20th speed into the Kreisel. Letting the sled have its head, not fighting those loops too much. And the result is he's built a little bit more speed. 19th best speed. 23rd at the start, though. Still 23rd on the splits. 22nd on the splits. He's ahead of Hunter Williams. Does he get ahead of Giovanni Marchetti at the line? He does. So he's got 2 behind him. As Colin Freeling comes across the line in 21st. Is that enough? Well, there are a lot of sleds still to go. He was 23rd in a field of 33. There are 10 to go. Not all 10 are necessarily going to be quicker. He can't really afford more than 3, potentially, possibly 4 to be quicker than him. That wasn't a bad looking run, though, from Colin Freeling. More at home here on European tracks that he knows better. For Korea, Seum Hyung-jun, World Cup rookie this season, 4th race for him. Best was his debut on home ice in Pyeongchang, 22nd place. Then he was 23rd at home and 27th in China. Has not raced on this track before. Well, goes off gangbusters from the top. I mean, if you're going to go for it, go for it. 5:06, the 12th best start. Whoa! But 4 to 5, very uncomfortable. That has wiped off his speed. Gone from 1200s ahead of Christopher Grotheer to 3500s back, and this will be around 6/10ths back, 9/10ths back. It really did wipe off his speed. And that's the drama of 4 to 5. Nice exit out of the Kreisel. 21st on the split, so he's bringing it back towards the top 20. 16th best speed at the bottom. Could be 20th. Ahead of Amadeo Banias, how close? 21st at the line. Japan being just a wee bit dismissive about that, possibly. 22nd, 23rd and 27th so far this season. And a track he's not raced at before. He currently is in 21st place. Well, 12th best at the start, but look at this. Lots of work in corner 4. Wasn't quite sure where he was going with that. And a big hit off 5 as a result. And that's like putting on the brakes and the handbrake at the same time. Seasonal debut in the World Cup for the Czech Republic's Timon Jarnovsky. Only his 5th World Cup start. He's had half a dozen races here in Europe Cup and ICC. Team silver medal with Anna Fernstadt in the World Cup here last February, or in February. 5:31, so his only World Cup medal in the teams competition has come here, but in the singles he was 25th in his only previous World Cup appearance here. Ooh, little touch away, he could have ill-afforded there. Out of 9, a bit of a flop, but not a bad line. 21st speed onto the Kreisel, don't fight it too much. Down into 11-12. And then 13-14. Oh, where's the speed? 23rd. Drifting away from the lead group. and out to the tail of the field, 23rd at the line, so picked up a spot or two. Dominic Dvorak, former bobsled driver, helping with the coaching. Always good to see him around.
From Czech Republic.
So, Timon 59-21.
Alexander Schlindner aus Österreich.
Timon or Timon, depends whether you're a Disney character or not, I guess. Not a bad looking exit here, just a little late rise, doesn't flop too much, but that little crunching impact takes energy out of the sled, and then was trying to prevent a big first oscillation. See, his legs are both steering right, just trying to hold that line down. 25 sleds down, the field is full, and now for the remaining 7 sleds, 6 sleds, it's go fast or go home. Starting with Alex Schlindner. Has not missed a cut so far this season. He was 16th in the last race in Beijing. 2 12th place finishes on this track in World Cup racing are his best World Cup results to date. Looking clean so far. He's a big, tall athlete, carries lots of mass, and that's good for velocity. 18th best speed for Alex Schlindner from the 17th best start. 17th best speed, picking up speed as he goes. In the top 20, 13th best speed. If he keeps it clean here, this has got to be a top 18, 17 run. 17, 57.85. So he is in, Hunter Williams is out.
For Alexander Schlindner from Austria.
I think Schlindner is going to make the second heat. Not sure that there's enough left in the remaining sliders that they're all going to beat him. So, 26-year-old Alexander Schlindner, 21st World Cup start today. Well, from there, I'm afraid, I don't think the top 12 is going to happen in the second heat unless something weird happens with the weather, and it might. 10th World Cup race for Spain's Adrian Rodriguez. That should have been in China, but the Spanish team went home for the launch of a movie about the skeleton program in Spain. 5:24 getaway for Adrian Rodriguez. His best result here, 33rd place. His one World Cup outing. Very skatey through corner 4. In the race at the moment, but this needs to be clean. Oh, and it's not. He's just dragged all the way down the wall. He sled ping-balling on and off. And again, another skid there off the Kreisel. 27th slider, 27th best speed. It's not going to be enough. 27th at the line, 27th it is, with a 60.29. And Amiram Bell bringing on these young athletes. He was Spain's winter sliding program for years. Now bringing new groups of young athletes, building that program. But here again, look, got them from 3 to 4 with a skid, skidded in the middle, skidded off as well. When you're giving away, that's a microcosm of the run, really, giving away a little bit too much speed just about everywhere. Adrian Rodriguez, 27th, he doesn't get a race. Hunter Williams doesn't get a race. Giovanni Marchetti of Italy is the man on the bubble as we get to Canada's Kyle Donsberger. World Cup best of 13th in Lake Placid, has not raced on this track before and has not made the cut so far this season. It's a tough ask to try and do it here, especially when he's toe steering from 1-2 or down into turn 1 even. Little correction, 2-3. Not bad from 4, onto 5, clean enough onto 6. Little offline going into Qinwei, flopped on the way out. 22nd best speed, big oscillations. We'll be panicking about the exit. You can't help it. It's very hard to see around, no matter how much you crane your neck. 23rd best speed. Ahead of Adrian Rodriguez. Does he get into the race? He does not get there. 26th at the line. And 9 hundredths behind Giovanni Marchetti.
Kelly Altenberg from Canada.
So Carl Dunsberger will be watching the second heat from the sidelines. Just coming up shy. Again, watching skating off there. That's the exit of the Kreisel. Just riding that bucking Bronco. So 5 to go as we get to our second slider from Ukraine, Yaroslav Lavrenyuk, Youth Olympic silver medalist in Pyeongchang 2024. This is already his 8th World Cup race. The 17-year-old. Best was 22nd place last time out in Beijing. We saw teammate Vladyslav Heraskevych having a really good first run.
5.26.
Starting with a 21st fastest start. Heraskevych, by the way, in 7th place. Likely to stay there until the end of the runs. Lavrenyuk, nice exit out of 9. Just drifting it back in. 22nd best speed. This should be enough to keep him in the race. 24th best speed. There's not going to be a lot of meat on the bone, but it should do it. 22nd on the splits, clatters the wall off 14. Still got 21st best speed. Vladyslav Heraskevych, fastest through the final speed trap. He's in the race. 58.71. 26th, 24th and 22nd so far this season. Lavrenyuk.
Currently for
so 26th and 24th made the heat in one race in Pyeongchang, not in the second. Of course, the first race there was no track left by the time he got to it. And there is Mickey Heraskevych, Vladislav's dad, who looks after the sliders. A lot of oscillation in the Kreisel, not much steering, didn't fight it. You've got to trust your instinct. It is all instinct here. So second World Cup start for Jordan Rielemira. Sorry, Jordan. Gonna have to get him to pronounce that properly for me. Only a World Cup race was when we first met him in La Plagne in December 2023. He has done 2 races since then, 1 Europa Cup, 1 NAC. So this is only his 3rd race outside of North America. 15 getaway. But struggling to keep the sled going where he needs it to go. Now that's a combination of not having the experience to be able to choose the great line and not having enough experience of the pressure of the track to keep it on the line. Oh, big skid as he bumped all over the transition. Again, not the ideal result for Jordan, but it does remind us just how hard this thing is that most people underestimate, because the best in the world make it look so easy. It's like when the ice skaters fall over and they're skating around on their backside and you suddenly go, oh yeah, it's ice. Hard hit in the transition. It's a very physical sport, and we're not just talking about the sprinting. And Altenberg has a fearsome reputation.
Sumo Mata, Switzerland, please prepare your next.
3 to go then here, with 30 sled down. Livio Sumomata of Switzerland, 24th, 26th, 25th this season in the Far East. Should be there or thereabouts. 29th place in his only previous World Cup race here. 11th best start, 10th best velocity until he started running it down the wall from 2 to 3. Oh, and bumps onto 5 as well. But only 900s back. And that's what a good start does for you. Nice exit, good straight. 24th speed. He's still firmly in the top 20 at this stage. Needs to really keep it clean and not skid away this opportunity. Outside the 20, 23rd place on the splits. Not bad out of 14. Speed is sagging still. This is going to be close. He might yet be in if he avoids the wall. He is in, 58.67. So Livio Sumomata is in, and Timon Dranovsky is out. Giovanni Marchetti also out, as is Karl Donsberger and the rest of them. But Livio Sumomata in 23rd place, 2 to go, will definitely have earned himself a second heat. Well, his best World Cup result, 19th in Innsbruck. He's in the race and will get a second heat. If anyone gets a second heat, he will get a second heat. Now then, for Ghana, long time since we've seen a Kwasi Frimpong in a World Cup race. It's only the 8th of his career. He was a 2018 Olympian. He's done 4 World Championships. His World Cup best was his debut in Beijing at the beginning of last season. Again, recovering from injury in the off-season. 5:24. So 26th best start, was skid from 2 to 3. Avoids the big bump on 5. Not got a huge amount of experience on this track in Altenberg either. But great to see Kwasi back in World Cup racing. I mean, he's a team of one. Not sure if he's actually a federation of one as well. But has been flying the flag for Ghana for the last 7 or 8 years, pretty much single-handedly. 29th best speed. And 30th place at the line, 60 seconds exactly. The former 200 and 400 metre sprinter, competed as a youth for the Netherlands on his way from when the family escaped his native Ghana. They moved and lived in the Netherlands before moving to the US. Lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, with his wife and their 2 girls. Little being on the wall. Not a bad looking Kreisel.
Meyer, Shanti, Erica, love you all. Thank you for watching.
And our final slider from France, Luca Defaye, 12th World Cup start for the 27-year-old. A quarter of his World Cup races have been on this track because he's a glutton for punishment. That's just the way that's worked out. Best of 17th in January 2023. Remains his best World Cup result. Now he's coming late in the race. The track is frosty, but he has got good abilities. First World Cup race of the season, but he's been racing here in Europe in Europe Cup events. 22nd best start, 18th best speed at the Kreisel, gets a good exit there as well. 18th still at the 11-12 crossover. Corner 14 will decide it, and it's a good one. 17th best speed, he's in the race, he's in the top 20. Best ever World Cup result, 17th place here, he's 19th at the line. So he is in, and that finally bumps out Colin Freeling of Belgium.
18th place currently for Lucas Defaye. Das heißt also,
Luca Defaye, Swiss coach now running back up because he wasn't necessarily expecting Lucas to have quite so much speed on board.
Ganz zum Schluss noch rausgedrängt worden.
I know, band of brothers. We're all thinking the same thing. Damien, what's his name? Yeah, Luca, the first time I met him, I thought, you're very familiar. Why do I think I've met you before? And that's why. Nice run from Luca Defaye from La Plagne. Well, our first heat being led by the man who's won everything so far this season, Christopher Grotheer. It has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races since he's won on this track. In fact, shall I tell you how long it's been since he won on this track? The last time he took a win on this track in singles, it was the 2021 World Championships. Is it time? Is it time? Well, in both races in Pyeongchang, Christopher Grotheer beat Marcus Wyatt and Matt Weston. Matt Weston was second to Christopher Grotheer in Beijing, and Marcus Wyatt, Matt Weston are third and second behind Christopher Grotheer again. Austin Florian fourth ahead of Axel, Jungk and Lucas Dave Nydegger in sixth position. What a great result for the youngster. Vladyslav Heraskevych seventh ahead of Wenhao, Felix Keisinger and Sammy Meyer. And then down towards the tail in the final reckoning, Lucas Defaye 19th, 25th, just making it in, Yaroslav Hrenyuk, but just out, Colin Freeling in 26th, and Timon Dranovsky, and the rest of them will be joining the fans trackside to watch the second and deciding heat, weather allowing. And the sleds will be back, we will be back at 2:45. That is 13:45 GMT. That is 08:45 Eastern. And for those of you who aren't really good at working out time zones, that's 23 minutes from now. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Das also alles Zukunftsmusik, das schauen wir uns dann ganz genau an, wenn es soweit ist. Noch einmal die Zeit, 14:45 Uhr, Freizeit für den ersten Vorläufer, 14:49 geht es dann los mit dem zweiten Durchgang. Again, the time for the first flight is 2:55, and the starting time for the second heat of the skate and main competition is 2:54. Sorry, 2.